Of course, there are all kinds of different ways that people react to and like the symptoms that people have from CSA, but I'll try to connect the dots a little bit better to explain my experience and like where my therapist was coming from for me. One of the kind of core ways that I attempted to make sense of my CSA trauma as a kid was by feeling like my body kind of was the threat, essentially. And so, something that I did to try to protect myself from future harm was to hide my body, to like not like touch people any more than was like really needed, things like that. And so, while like my logical brain knows that something like a hairstylist cutting my hair, or even something like my doctor doing like a pap smear or something, is not the same thing as a like sexual threat or a threat at all. My nervous system doesn't really know that, especially something like an OBGYN exam can be really triggering for me because of that CSA trauma. And so the what my therapist was suggesting is that it's likely that because like those like routine appointments are difficult for me, and because you have to have so many more exams that are kind of along those lines while pregnant, and of course you have to be like checked and all kinds of things when you actually have the baby, that one way to kind of guard against those experiences being read by my brain and body as new trauma, as like additional trauma, is by creating as much like emotional and relational safety with my doctor and like anybody else who's going to be involved in the situation as possible. And my understanding is that there's like a lot of research that shows that one of the best ways to build resilience from like a bad experience, to make sure that it just stays just a bad experience or a difficult experience and doesn't actually become traumatizing in the sense of like PTSD like symptoms, is by having a sense of connectedness to other people, like staying connected to a safety like support network. So that's kind of where the idea of like having a sense of like relationship with these people comes from, is that can provide a sense of like psychological safety that assists with my brain like not interpreting these things as being as threatening as they might if I'm seeing this person as like a complete stranger.